He's always been one of our favorite guests, certainly at the Super Bowl, because he always has great stories. You got to love that smile. And we make way for the Hall of Famer, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, who joins us on loan from NFL Network.
What is this, man?
Got Paulie.
I know who he is.
I got a little surprise,
I can't even
though.
say hi to the dead end.
No, you can now. You can say hello to McLovin and Fritzy.
What's up, guys? I can't look.
No,
over
you
there.
can look. You can look.
I can look now.
Look.
Okay, I can look. That's a. Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you something. I was worried when I saw your green room, but this is a bounce back right here, and that right there, that means you got the top set. This is the top set, man. That's sweet right there, buddy.
I have a street artist who did all of our work in our man cave, and we wanted to do some of the iconic sports figures in Miami history. And
that'll fit perfectly on my wall at home.
Every year we love you coming by, and I figured if you were the first one that we were going to put up with the U, it's a beautiful painting of you. And
it is.
Yeah, so every day we're going to do a different sports icon that is Miami related. So we think of you with the U before Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate it. So you got somebody doing one of these every day?
Yeah, he's doing one now.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Man! I thought I was going to be the only one.
Well, damn.
Well, you could have kept that information. Just let me think I was the only one.
Yeah, but I was gonna put other names in there like Dan Marino.
After I leave, well, we didn't tell Michael, but we have other people too.
Well, wait, but if I include you with Dan Marino, Don Shula, Pat Riley, Dwayne Wade.
You're right. I can't take that because
that's pretty good.
Dan Marino, I always say he's the only guy in my man cave. You know, because everybody in my man cave has a ring. He's the only guy without a ring. That's how great Dan Marino is to me. So yeah.
Wait, you have jerseys in your man cave?
I got pictures, jerseys.
Oh, okay.
You know, like Bird and Magic going at it. Jordan coming down the lane and all of that. Then I have on the walls, you know, determination, fight, all of the things that it takes to be one of the greats, and all the things that those guys have displayed.
Do you have room in your house for that?
Oh, absolutely. In my house in Dallas? Yeah. Now, I don't know about my houses here, you know, my homes here.
Wait, houses?
Yeah, I own about 3 summer homes here. But since I'm the 15th of 17 kids, I own 3 summer homes. I just got some of my family members living in all of them that they will not leave. And I try to explain to them, you know. I said, listen, I bought another summer home. They said, oh, we can just stay in it while you're gone. I said, no, this is a summer home. That means nobody's in. And then they come and they never leave. They never leave,
okay.
Man. It's what it is.
But you grew up with nothing. At what point did you realize you had something?
Oh, you know, what do you mean when I realized?
When you had money, like when you felt like you were really rich, because it might be different because you didn't have anything. So
I am nothing. So when I got anything, I felt I had something. You know what I mean? And it's no joke. I remember when I first got in the league, you know, I got drafted in '88. You know, I sent my mom her first credit card when she had never seen a credit card. And this is a true story. And when I sent it to her, and she called me a couple of days later. She said, baby, I don't want to get us in trouble. You know, God's been so good, you know, because she's God. You know, God's been good. We're here now. I said, okay, what happened, baby? She said, I went to the grocery store, and them people, I got all that grocery, and I didn't get them people any money. I just left. I said, well, what did you do, baby? She said, what would I, that lady all she did was look at that little card you gave me, and she let me leave with the food. I said, no, don't worry about it, baby. I said, let's call a credit card. I'll see the bill at the end of the month. Don't you sweat it. Now, you know, so that was her first introduction into anything. When I think back on it now, it just blows my mind how far God has brung me. And that's why I always say, I measure men in distance travel. Don't tell me where you are. Tell me where you started, and then tell me where you are, and I should measure you accordingly.
And Michael has a beautiful cross there, a lot of diamonds on there.
Yeah.
And you said that people would never like steal that because they wouldn't steal a cross.
Well, I appreciate you cleaning that up. I said the brothers. I said, Dan, I should be okay. The brothers see that it is a cross. They'll let me keep this. You know what I'm saying?
What about the watch? Will the brothers let you keep that watch?
Well, it's a Richard Milles, you know.
And that's a damn expensive watch.
Right. But the brothers don't know that. Now, if it was a Rolex, I would be in trouble. But it's a Richard Milles. I said, oh, Mike, what you do with that cheap watch? I said, I'm sorry. It's all I had. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm okay with the watch. But I had to put a cross on here to make sure they let that go.
If not the U, where would you have gone?
You know, and back then I had just lost my father, and honestly, I was looking at LSU and Syracuse. I went to Syracuse. It was so cold.
Had you been in the cold before?
I had never been in the cold. It was the first time seeing snow. And I had on a pair of penny loafers. I didn't even have any socks on. And I was stepping in the snow like, oh, my God. But since I grew up with 16 brothers and sisters, Syracuse was the first place I visited, and they had an apartment. They had me sold right there. They said I was going to have my own bed. I said, that's all I need. So I was ready to sign.
So you almost went to Syracuse?
Just for a bed, man.
That's
you
it.
talk about how bad things were. Just for a bed, they were going to give my services. Until when I visited Miami, they said, we got a bed too, your own bed right there. So I ended up going to Miami.
And it was closer to home too.
It was closer to home. I just lost my father, and I wanted to stay close to my mom, and it worked out. Back then, they only gave you like $20 a weekend. You know, now the kids get, a couple $1,000s a month, because I know my son, he gets a stipend. We got about $20 a weekend, man, and I had to send 15 of that home, so I had 5 to get through the weekend. So it was different.
He's Michael Irvin, the playmaker. I still love that story that you almost got carjacked. But
riding around in Dallas in a white Range Rover, and I don't know, these guys had some beef with a guy in a white Range Rover. So obviously they had been driving around looking for this guy. And they thought I was him. They pulled up, and they pulled a gun out, and they looked and said, oh, no, wait. Michael, what's up, boy? Michael, boy, I'm a big fan. I said, man, thank you, man. Listen, I appreciate it, man. And they let me make it. I promise you guys, you know what I did? I drove right to the Range Rover store.
Turn it in?
And got rid of that car. Right? No joke. I was like, hey, somebody looking for one of these, and I don't want to be in one. I got rid of it immediately and got a new car.
Thank you for supplying some laughs today, because you know what? I don't know if you've met Kobe before, but, I think we all kind of had that moment yesterday where he kept saying, this ain't real. And then even today, I told this audience, I said I didn't want to do today. I didn't know how to do today's show.
Yeah, and it has been hard, even just seeing everybody and being around. And I felt unreal too when I first heard the news, and I was like, oh no, and you hoped actually that maybe this was one of those social media things that you'll find out, they fooled everybody, but it is. It's so sad. And one of the things I thought about, like, I know life goes on and everybody keeps moving, but this is so different. And I woke up, I was like, man, this is the one time everything should stop. Just for a moment here. I mean, Kobe was so incredible, man, and I did meet him. Once didn't get a chance to have deep conversations with him, and he was such an incredible person. But all that he's accomplished, and honestly, let me just say this for African Americans, and we say we don't have enough people like Kobe that we can point to for some younger brothers to say, hey, man, go be him. Because Kobe did things the right way, man.
And he had a second act, because you have this basketball career. And
phenomenal career.
And a lot of athletes get to that point when you're 35 or 40 and you go, oh, my God, it'll never get better than what it once was. And he had that second career where a lot of athletes will panic when they get there and go, what is my second career?
But you can tell that he would be one of those guys that could go and reinvent himself. He was so monomaniacal about being great at what he threw his focus into, that whatever he put his focus in, if he puts in that same fervor, you knew he would be just as successful. And he was on his way to doing that. It's just it's a life taken way too early.
Can you play football with that mentality from the standpoint of that focus of, and I know basketball can be a one-on-one sport and football can't be, but did you play against anybody that just sort of wanted to embarrass you and play with that singular focus that Kobe had?
You play with guys like that. There were a lot of guys that you got a chance to, and they may express it differently, but do things to bring the best out of them, And football's a little more, it's different because it's a more emotional sport, It's a more emotional sport. The one thing when I think about Kobe, I think about when Matt Barnes faked the ball, dude. Do you know the nerves it takes?
And he didn't flinch.
Not to flinch a bit. Not even. You can't even stop. If somebody put their hands quick to your eye, you couldn't stop your eyes from blinking, even if you wanted to. It's called a natural body defense. His natural body defense didn't even move. I mean, I'm like, that's amazing, man. That's amazing to show you the kind of courage and still courage that he has to sit there like that and not even flinch. That was amazing to me every time I see it.
Now that you're a Hall of Famer, people want to know your opinion, and it feels like it carries more weight because you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Do you like? I mean, now your words have a little bit more weight to them. So when I say, "Hey, Troy Polamalu, Hall of Famer, Michael,"
right? But remember, a person's opinion is only as good as their knowledge based upon that subject.
Okay, but if I said,
so you're right when it comes to talking about football. Since I am a Hall of Famer, my knowledge base should be wide, and my opinion should carry weight. But if you get me to talk about other things, then that thing may change a little. You know what I mean? It may change a little. Some things I know, but then coming through hard times, I know that. Making some dumb decisions, I know those things. You get my opinion on
you
those.
made bad decisions?
Oh, God almighty. Oh, God almighty, man. That's why I love when people give me these pictures to sign, and it's a young picture, or like this young fella, and I love the picture, but I just want to slap that young fella around a little bit. I do, man. He spent some of my money on some dumb stuff. Like, I want to talk to him about that. Like, what were you thinking, man?
But Michael, you tell the story, and you're a good sport because you learned the hard way.
Yeah.
When Dion was going to that hotel room, that you were in that hotel room, and you were partying, and he went in that hotel room.
Yeah, listen, I mean, and Dion, let's be real now, because we all were having fun back in the day. But Dion and Emmett was smart enough to say, okay, that's enough, we getting out. All right, Mike. All right, you're over there.
You're in overtime.
We're overdoing it.
You're
now.
in sudden death overtime there.
We're overdoing it. We're getting out of it, man.
But what was Dion's line? He's like, Mike, I don't live like this.
Yeah. Oh, and at the time that when hey, enough.
I got to keep you employed on the NFL Network.
That's so good, too. And it is. Dan, you said it, man, really, because I don't, honestly, and I was worried about coming because we always have so much fun, and I've been here all the time with you guys. We always have so much fun. And I don't think I've laughed since yesterday until right now. I really don't, man. And it is good to laugh a little bit, man.
And that's why I wanted to have you on. I wanted to. I don't know. It's been 2.5 hours where, we're paying our respects. Jerry West, Reggie Miller, some people.
And I've been watching it, and it's been great too. You really have. And then playing some of the old interviews, man. And you listen to him, and even now, he sounded brilliant then, but it even sounds more brilliant now that we know he's gone. Yeah. It's just an incredible soul.
Before I let you go, you got a Jimmy Johnson story now that he's a Hall of Famer?
I'm just so happy he's a Hall of Famer. And I saw him so emotional. You guys saw him, he was just so happy and emotional, man.
Yeah, but like, we need a good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was
you got a good story for him?
Where is this fella from? Who is this emotional fella that has emotions and feelings? I didn't even know he had these things in him.
He didn't have that with you?
I've known him since I was 17 years old. I've never seen these kinds of emotions, you know. Jimmy would, oh my God, and he knew he had come and got a lot of us from the ghettos of these Miami and Fort Lauderdale, the very ghettos. And when we did not have good practices, he would always bring us up and say, I know you guys and everybody in your family think we made it out. We got it. You got a 4-year scholarship. He said, but I'm going to tell you something. You didn't read the fine print. Those scholarships are 1-year renewable. And if we don't get better practice, I'm sending all of you back to where you came from. And you talking about some practices, man. Oh, right up in Miami, man. We used to have, because we used to sit back, dude, you all right, boy? We get 3 square meals over here a day. You know, you're on scholarship, so you got a training table. Back in the ghetto, there was no training table. You better get these practices right, man, so we don't have to go back to that. But yeah, I was just so happy for him because really, he deserves it. He earned it. And I always thought about Coach Johnson because I love him to death. I told Coach Johnson, I said, man, because Coach Schnellenberger recruited me. I said, I came to Miami and you followed me. Then I went to Dallas and you followed me. I mean, you just followed me.
You're going to the Hall of Fame and he's following you.
And I went to the Hall and he followed me, right. But, man, I love him, man. I'm just so happy for him.
He's the playmaker, Michael Irvin. You can see him on Sunday morning. What time's coverage start? Like 9 a.m. Eastern?
We're on. Don't worry about it. We're on for 8.5 hours. So turn us on in the morning. Go do what you got to do. Come back. We'll still be there.
Now,
just don't worry.
Do you want this painting, or should we send that to St. Thomas Aquinas?
No, man. I'm serious. I would put that in my home. That's a beautiful painting.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay. All right.
You can get that shipped to me, man.
All right.
I can definitely get that shipped to me. I got this big old wall coming right out of my game room, right out of my pool hall, that I can put it on.
Awesome.
It might seem a little vain when you walk in.
Well, now you're worried about me.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Mike. He's the playmaker of Michael Irvin.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.